Hey folks, it's Ben. I promised you a review on the cooler mod for our Sous Vide, our Nova Sous Vide, and give you some kind of tips on what we've learned and some things we like and not like about it. We'll start off with the things we love. It's awesome at keeping moisture in the sous vide bath and not in the house. So with our prior container, there'd be steam coming out of it. The windows would steam if you're running it for 24 or 48 hours. It was just kind of very hard to keep moisture in. This thing is more or less sealed. So the meat inside or the water inside stays inside, and we love that. It also makes the top warm, but that's it. Everything else is cool. So I don't have to put it on anything. It can sit right on the cupboard. And the sous vide, of course, heats up faster because it's an insulated container. So it heats up, and I presume it's using less power because it doesn't have to work too hard to keep the temperature of the water going along there. The disadvantages that we had is, of course, the lid, but you would expect that. Getting things inside while it's heating, because the motor, if you tilt it up, as you can see, kind of gets out. So even if you kind of move it to the side, it doesn't give you the full meal deal, if you will. So access is a little bit harder. But other than that, it's actually been pretty good. The top is bowed a little bit, but it doesn't leak, so we're cool with that. The other thing that's kind of difficult is we like to typically take our package and you can close it in on the side. So what we've learned is to put our meat and such that has a little bit more plastic bag hanging out, so you can kind of hook the edge of the bag and then close the lid on top of it. So it's been great. The tight seal around the Innova entry here, you can wiggle it, but it's kind of tight, works out great. But because it's bowed out in the middle, it doesn't pressurize, so it does kind of, I'm not gonna say steam off, but it gives it that breathing that it may or may not need. The cooler itself outside of the dome lid has proven to be fine, and the water, I think we changed it once only because we were doing glass jars and we actually broke one, so it contaminated the water, but it has a little bit of the aroma of the things we cook, even though they don't leak, but the water itself is mostly clean and never gets dirty. Because the container is so sturdy, we can store this in our pantry when we're not using it. So we can just lift it up, move it to, actually it goes in behind the dishwasher, and then when we dig it, we dig it out, and then we just plug it in. Now, if I was to do one thing differently, it would be locating the Innova more towards a corner. For that being, it works great in this configuration because it's got a short cord, so it plugs into the power fine, and if you could switch the lid over if you need it to. But if we had moved it to over to a corner, we could have it just that much easier. So you could have it this way, and you'd have lots of cord, or the other way. People have asked, why did you put it in the middle? Well, obviously, we want it on an edge. But if I had the choice to drill the hole again, I would have moved it over to the corner. The top would have supported that the way it's manufactured. You could have just moved it over. Other than that, though, as long as it's on one end or the other, you'll have the ability to have the cord kind of dangle out. This gives us the ability to have it on either side, but like I said, we'd probably just pick a corner and go with it. So it's been a great modification to the cooler. It's been an awesome sous vide machine. Actually kind of changed how we used it, because now we can really do a 2-day cook, and it's not a problem at all. So thumbs up on the modification. I would actually recommend it for anybody. People have suggested that this size is that for a door lock, and it could be, but it still requires me spending money to buy one. And I just used the Dremel, and that worked out fine. It's been a great seal since then. If you guys like this video and other sous vide videos we make, please like this one and comment if you can, and subscribe to our channel, Red Barn Homestead, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thanks.